Episode 1. If Jesus is our Sabbath, why did he keep the literal Sabbath every week? Key text, Luke 4:16. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. If Jesus is our Sabbath, why did he still keep the literal Sabbath every single week? That's the question no Sunday pastor dares to answer directly, because once they do, their argument collapses like a house built on sand. Luke 4:16 says, And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day, not once, not occasionally, but as his custom, his weekly, ongoing practice. This wasn't ceremonial law. This was the fourth commandment, written in stone by the finger of God. Now let's expose the lie. Many pastors today claim Jesus fulfilled the Sabbath, so we don't need to observe it anymore. But fulfilling the law doesn't mean cancelling it. Jesus also fulfilled righteousness. Does that mean we stop being righteous? Of course not. Jesus fulfilled baptism, yet he still commands us to be baptized. So why treat the Sabbath differently? There's only one reason: tradition. Man's tradition. Here's where it gets uncomfortable for Sunday preachers. If Jesus is our rest and no longer requires a physical Sabbath day, then why did he say in Matthew 24:20, But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day? That was a future warning, decades after the resurrection. He still expected his people to honor the Sabbath. This single verse destroys the theory that the Sabbath was abolished at the cross. Why would Jesus ask his followers to pray about not violating something that supposedly no longer mattered? Because it still mattered. But here's the trap. Modern Christianity wants the benefits of Christ without the boundaries of God. They want salvation without sanctification, blessing without obedience, and love without law. God doesn't play that game. Isaiah 58:13 calls the Sabbath my holy day. Not Moses' day, not Israel's day, God's day. And Malachi 3:6 declares, I am the Lord, I change not. So if Jesus is God, and he is, then he's the same God who spoke the Sabbath command with thunder on Mount Sinai and rested on the seventh day in Genesis. Are you ready for this? When Jesus said in Matthew 12:8, the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day, he wasn't replacing it. He was claiming authority over it as its rightful lawgiver. That doesn't abolish the Sabbath, it affirms it. Let's be crystal clear. Jesus is not a day of the week. He's not our Sabbath in the sense of replacing obedience. He's the Savior who lived out perfect obedience, including the Sabbath, as our example, not our excuse to disobey. The real question is this. If your Lord kept the Sabbath, why don't you? Who changed, Jesus or you? Who has the authority? The God who wrote the fourth commandment in stone, or the pastor who erases it with a sermon? Revelation 22:14 gives the final verdict. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life. That includes the fourth, not just the 9 you're comfortable with. So, dear pastor, priest, or skeptic, don't twist Jesus into a symbol to avoid surrendering your Sunday tradition. If Jesus is your example, then walk as he walked, and his custom was the seventh-day Sabbath.